Then I got this bedroom. It's really bad in here. You see that high spot right here. And then tons of cracks here. So guys, I'm gonna try to take something extremely shitty and make it less shittier. So I'm definitely not going for something perfect. I'm wanting it even enough where people can't notice it. This is a rental, so I'm not gonna come in and spend $10,000, $20,000 to fix this that I'll never recoup, but I am willing to put some work into it and get it to be still a really nice rental. You can see the crack over here. And then same here, I went in and cut out some of the high spots, but it's definitely sloped down into this corner. So I'm gonna try to level it up some. I don't know how many bags I needed, but I went ahead and got 5 to start it. I'm also gonna put some primer down first. I got 2 things of primer. I don't know how much I'm gonna be needing. I haven't done too much of this, but this is a great DIY project for me anyways. So I'm gonna attempt it. I did do this tile in here. It's like 10 years ago, maybe 11, and then the same in the bathroom. Put that down. So now I'm gonna try to flow it in, and hopefully, since it's been 10 years, I couldn't get something that was super matched up, but I did find some tile already. I'm not gonna be probably able to open that and let you guys see, but I think I got pretty close. It's a little bit darker in some of it, but that's what I have to do, and I'm gonna get this room to flow into that room. Since I'm putting tile down, I actually am not too worried about all the cracks. I did a tile job about 7 years ago that wasn't quite this bad, but it was pretty bad, and it still looks the same as if I put it down. And the reason why is because I'm using this underlayment. Stuff looks pretty good, and I had cut some out because I'm going to be putting it over here and cutting it back in there when I'm putting this floor down. But I thought I'd show you a piece of it. You can check it out. This is what happens with the mortar. So it kind of sets down there. If the crack is going underneath it, this will actually break apart, but it'll still be floating, and then your tile will stick to this. So if there's a crack underneath, and let's say it opens up, as long as it pulls apart back here like this, underneath this will stay there flat and support the tile, where it won't pull apart this won't let it pull apart, and it'll hold that there, so you won't have any cracks, even if there's cracks underneath it. Now I'm sure if it gets pretty crazy where it's a huge crack, it probably would, but most of the stuff is already settled now, and hopefully it won't be cracking too much more. So I just gotta get it in there, get it as level as possible, and then put that tile down. After I get done, I pour water in there. I'm using a half a bag. I already had the water put in for how much I need for a half a bag. Sister mixing, and my wife over here behind me, we're mixing that for 2 minutes. And that's what we're doing in there. Alright guys, the reason why I mentioned that underlayment, because I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying that this easy level, the self-leveling floor stuff is not for cracks. And guys, I already know that. I just need to get these rooms leveled out so I can put that underlayment down, so I can put the tile down. The flatter I get it, the better this apartment's going to be, and the easier that tile is going to be to lay. So if you're putting this easy level down
At some point, it'll probably crack if you already have cracks, but as long as it stays level, that's totally fine because it's not going to affect my tile once I have that underlayment down. So I thought I'd mention that. Also, check the description down below this video because I'll be putting links to anything that I'm using in this video. I wanted to talk about this for a little bit about the product I use. First off, I wanted to mention that I have not done self-leveling jobs like this before, and I felt like this was actually a pretty simple task to do. This easy level was pretty easy to mix and pour, and it self-leveled on its own. You can see in this video that I'm actually using that gauge rake, and I really did not even need to use it. I could have just kept on pouring it in the same spot, and it self-leveled. In the next room that I'll be putting up at a later date, I actually didn't use that gauge rake at all, and it still leveled out fine for me. It does make you look a little professional using that like you're actually doing something, but honestly, I didn't have to use it at all, but it was still good to have just in case I did need it. But for me, I didn't have any issues pouring this. I watched other people say you can't pour it in places that you've already poured. I had no issues with that as well. I was pouring it from over here. Then the next one I'd pour on the other side of the room. And it was all leveling in just fine for me. So I had no issues. I thought it was easy to work with. It does start thickening up pretty fast. So like in that far corner, after I got more closer to the door, over there in that far corner, it was actually getting a little thick. But other than that, it worked pretty great for me and what I'm using it for. So I thought I'd mention some of that stuff for you guys.
I'm not going to fill in this crack because it's just going to pour in there. That'll probably be a couple more bags, and I don't need that because I'm going to be running that underlayment over top of that. But you can see that little piece here is filling up, and then that crack over there finally filled up. But if I was going to do it again, I'd probably spray some spray foam down in there because that probably took quite a bit, and plus it still might leak down in there while it's setting. Hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, then I'll be doing that when I lay the underlayment. Yeah, for the most part, that's going to be smooth. Now we still got to do in here. I'm going to be doing the same thing in here, but I'm only going to be coming up to this crack right here, and then that crack right there. So I'm going to be pouring this whole room right here, getting it straight. I'm guessing it's probably going to be about the same amount. So yeah, I think this is going to be really good for me to put that underlayment down, and it's going to be good to go. I went ahead and grabbed a level. Not a long one, but you can see that it's pretty level. That's what we're going for. And again, I did stop here at this crack, even though I could have went up a little bit farther. But that's going to be pretty level there. And that underlayment will cover that up. And then I can lay the tile over top of it and still connect into that tile and then that tile. Do a little bit of scraping right here. They had some like double-sided tape gunk down in there, and I didn't mention that I also, you can see this stain right here. I ripped that all up because it was kind of high, so I wanted to get a little bit more. Again, the more time you spend at this, the better you're going to get it. My focus isn't getting it perfect, but getting it good enough to. Yeah, look how bad this is. The crack is probably a good ½ inch high right there. So up here where this crack is about where I'm going to poured to, because I don't want to pour up in there, because I still want it to tie into these tiles. I'll float it across in here, but I just want to get this nice and level before I put that underlayment down. So right now the main part is right here. Get that leveled up, and then whatever I have left, I'll start flushing it here, because it does look like there's a tight tilt that way. High spots right here. Again, guys, this is a rental. I'm just trying to make it more livable, and instead of just throwing it back down and getting this crack out of here, I'm going to go ahead and level it up a little bit more and put tile down. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't $1 million home. Alright, that was the first pour. I'm getting ready to do my second pour. You see over here, a lot of it went down in that crack. So hopefully it got down in there, dried up some, so I can fill that up. And then I'll be putting a few more bags here, level it out. And you can see it's still sloping down this way. So I'll be putting some more bags here and a couple more bags here, flatten that out. You can see with the level here that it is a little going down. So we're gonna go ahead and put some more bags here and level that up. Make you ask questions? Right, you can also see this little crack is sucking in stuff, but again, that's not going to affect me. If you guys are doing what I'm doing, where you guys are trying to level it into another part of the room where you can't put, because I already have tile in here, so kind of moving it in there. What I'm going to do is to get this little bevel out, I'm just going to take something and run it right along here, like so, to get that little water bevel out of there. Alright, I'm back over here the next morning, and it's pretty much dry. Got the level down. It's pretty good and level. Probably a little bit down. If I wanted it perfect, I'd pour a few more bags over right here and probably over here. But, I mean, it's pretty good and level. There's a few spots where I had that, where there's like, if you go here and fill, you can fill a little, just right in that little area. You can feel it goes down, but since I'm going to be putting the underlayment down, which is going to require a thin set, I'll thin set that out and then put my underlayment down. And then if that doesn't fix it, I'll be doing it when I lay the tile and making it even across there. But if I was going to just lay roll out linoleum or carpet down, I would be actually pouring again and getting those imperfections out. Looks like there's a little bit decrease here, so I mean I would be pouring another, I don't know, probably 5 bags on here. You can see these holes have also sunk down, but again, I'll be able to work that out with thin set. If you guys are doing something with cracks like this and you guys are putting something else down, do another pour, and of course, like I've mentioned several times, is to fill those holes, which again I didn't do, so it's going to be one of those things that not do as I say, not as I do. But yeah, now it's going to be ready to put down this waffle underlayment stuff. The boss is doing his inspection. He's not happy, but he's ready to move on. What do you think, Weenie? Good to go? Better sniff those holes. Huh? Gonna go into the other room? Do your inspection in there? Oh, he's going into the other room.